Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. We're here for DAC 2017. I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well by the illustrious, the wonderful, the ever great Trent Pax. Trent, we had a wonderful series, first one that started off.
Did you just call that series wonderful?
I gotta do something, man. It was a tough one. It was VP versus Effect, as you guys might have seen. VP did have to forfeit because of internet issues. This time, it's not gonna happen, folks. I promise you that. 127% Team Spirit versus LQ. It's gonna happen. How you feeling? What do you think?
How do you just promise the people that? You can't control that. Don't lie to them.
That's true.
We don't know what's gonna happen.
If I was like omniscient and omnipresent and omnipotent and all those other things, I would make this series happen and make it great. And it already looks to be going that way. I will say taking Slardar Weaver into a Rubik first pick, that's kind of bold. That's already two great spells to steal. I guess I don't know what you're supposed to do against a Rubik, though, just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can think about it too much. He's just a super safe, strong opening support. Shadow Demon would be another popular one, I would say, for most teams. Maybe they don't want to lock themselves into the disruption setup or something like that. They don't feel like going Shadow Demon Luna. Kind of a little bit more open-ended, so they end up with Rubik Luna instead, I guess. But in terms of position ones left, understandable to go for the Luna. I really like this Slardar Weaver opener, though. So many options out of this. You could go for a Drow strat still and put this as position 4 Weaver. You can just go for a Darkseer later on, put this position 4 Slardar that way, and go for that classic dual plane. I'm sure Spirit will probably ban out the Darkseer almost certainly, unless they want to end up trying to snag it for themselves, but unlikely for that to happen. But the synergy between Slardar and Weaver is just so strong. All that minus armor, all that chase potential between the bugs and the Corrosive Haze can make it not only so easy for Weaver to track people down, but for whoever your mid hero is too. So probably looking for someone nice and mobile to take advantage of that.
I'm thinking about a Tinker or something. That could be pretty nifty. We've seen that work on occasion as well. You get the Corrosive Haze, as you were saying, and then just start spamming out rockets. It's so frustrating to deal with. They are going to ban out the Darkseer themselves, actually.
Look at those goons.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
just silly. Maybe it will be a Drow strat then. We'll see.
Yeah. I'll mention real quickly, too, before we get too far into this game, that you might not have seen a whole lot of these two teams over the past little bit. Team Spirit, of course, revamping and rebuilding themselves. I really am excited for this team, though. It's cool. You got BZZ, Iceberg, DK Phobos, Vanscore, and FNG. Their first official match, the new squad, the only holdover from the last Team Spirit is Iceberg. And yeah, I think they have a lot of potential.
Yeah, a long time ago. I was just looking up. I was like, how long? Like, when were these guys around? It was TI.
Yeah.
It was the last time they were playing. 7 months. The actual official brand name, that is, of course.
Right.
So, pretty exciting for the org to get back into it. I know they've been hunting for a while. Seen them always still talking about Dota here and there. I think they got a couple other things going on as well. But nice seeing them back in the arena here. And DAC, with that, again, that 2-0 forfeit, that's pretty brutal for this group. It's like the door just swung so wide open for all these teams to have a serious shot past VP where no one has really given them one. Honestly, I still think that there was a good chance. We already saw in what little we had before the forfeit, they weren't looking too hot. And, well, maybe it's more so that they were looking pretty good on the opposite side there. But either way, Effect, door open for them, Team Spirit, and LQ as well. Very excited, not only for this, but those CIS qualifiers, man, for the next major. They're already starting to look pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. I think that like you get a certain style of Dota when it's CIS against CIS. It's like every other region, you know. You take a look at Chinese games, and sometimes they end up getting really wonky when it's the two teams, and it's not something you would normally expect from them. Same in the EU region, to some extent, a little bit less or so, I'd say. And it to me feels like whenever you see these teams facing off against each other, fireworks start to fly, and there's a lot of early battles. It's great stuff. A whole heck of a lot of bans came out. You said the potential for a Drow Ranger strategy. Do you see Team Spirit opting to ban that out? And
disappointing.
Shadow Fiend.
The minus armor. It's real, guys. Drow's gone. We're just going all in.
Jeez. That is a ton. Yeah, Presence of the Dark Lord, maybe one of the least talked about and sort of mentioned aspects of Shadow Fiend, but it's pretty freaking good, particularly against a Luna draft where you're going to want to group up. Like, this is going to be a bit of an issue here, is the amount of damage they're taking. How do you solve that if you're out Team Spirit?
Sven or Dazzle are your classic ones. Of course, they already have a Luna, so it's unlikely they opt in towards Sven. But Dazzle still in the pool, still a really nice pick for LQ. as well. So you could look towards that as being like a combo for yourself. The only problem then is you're running Rubik and Dazzle, who don't have a lot of synergy in terms of ganks. Then your Rubik has to kind of step up into this position 4 role and really take a lot of that farm and be very active and successful around the map, which he probably could be up against a Weaver as well. It wouldn't be the worst time to really shove that Rubik into the 4, but they could also just opt for something a little bit greedier too and try not to focus too heavily on the whole minus armor thing.
I guess that is one thing to mention, is that this lineup of LQ isn't incredibly tanky. If they go for something like an Axe, maybe, it could be a bit of a tough time in the laning stage, but I always feel like that hero is great at being able to, catch a Weaver or have that BKB piercing and just strong damage being dealt for a Shadow Fiend. Those heroes can sometimes struggle in the mid game to tank up against something like that.
Yeah, we really have no idea exactly what Team Spirit favor as well. I mean, when you look at the way Team Spirit have been banning against LQ, you look at LQ's recent games, they've just been Underlord Venge, Underlord Luna, Underlord Disruptor. That's been their openings. So Team Spirit have a little bit at least on LQ, like taking care of that Underlord. Whereas when you're LQ, you're looking at Team Spirit, you're just like, all right, well, I guess we know these players pretty well. We can try and focus on some of those classic DK Phobos off lanes, like his Darkseer is already gone, not only because of the synergy, but it was one of his more classic ones. We'll have to see. I did love his phase where he used to play like BKB
Radiant
Zeus
team
too, and
pick.
well, there's a little bit of that unknown hero stuff as we just get our Chen.
Nifty. Not often you see this. Well, I think that you still go Helm of the Dominator on Chen, right? That was the big thing that everybody was talking about, wasn't it?
Dire team pick.
This game though, I think you still want the helm, but the mech is also going to be really important just for some armor going on up against all this. I was kind of considering maybe an Enigma too, just to get the really fast mech to give yourself at least something up against all this minus armor.
10 seconds remaining.
But Chen is good. You can get yourself maybe a Frost Troll early to help out with your
5
Luna. She's going to
seconds
have the helm
remaining.
herself as well, so it could maybe make the Chen just want to opt in towards the mech early, but that extra
Reserve
creep
time.
is still really handy even if you're doubling up on the aura.
Wow, and I'm looking at this draft from LQ, and they just feel like it is. They know what they want to do. You get the minus armor, you get the right clicks going up in style, taking down towers, Witch Doctor there for the heals, as well as just that like strong laning support. And
Physical ult too.
Yeah, it all feels like it's synergistic together for LQ here. I'll mention real quickly, since we had time to talk about Team Spirit, LQ,
Radiant
Sunlight,
team
Scandal,
back.
Funnick, Blow Your Brain, and Screen. So another sort of motley crew of the CIS
Really
teams.
is, dude.
Yeah, it's a whole heck of a lot of just randoms. It's great.
You're just like, oh, Scandal, I remember that guy. And like, oh, Lolic, man, where's he been? Oh, Funnick,
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Blow your brain
remaining.
too. Maybe even the most of the holy hell. Where's that guy been of the bunch? It
5 seconds.
really is
remaining.
quite the amalgamation here. So very similar to these. I don't know. I see
Oh, they
CIS
took out
qualifiers. I would just like search up. Oh yeah, you're right.
It is
Else
Lolic.
screen?
It's Lolic instead, so he's standing in. That makes more sense now. I was like,
Dire
something
team
felt
back.
wrong to me about all this. They're not playing a melee support right now, which is sort of his go-to. Sand King,
I mean,
though.
well, actually, the slide. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do you like the Sand King pickup at this moment, at least?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, good offlane hero. Can do
5
decently
seconds
in lane.
remaining.
It's not as fun against the Weaver as some other positioned ones, but he'll be all right, and they can fall back to the
Reserve
jungle
time.
too.
Yeah.
Plus, more than likely, you
5
think the slider is
seconds
gonna be roaming
remaining.
around a lot too, so you should get a lot of space with just
Dire
the Witch
team
Doctor
pick.
and the Weaver.
Right. So I'm looking at this too now. You've got the Clockwork Band out. Obviously, don't want to have to deal with those shenanigans, and Dragon Knight as well. For Team Spirit, the one thing I'd be slightly concerned about is Sand King knocking his Blink Dagger and the same timing when Chen comes online.
Radiant team
Is that
pick.
something to be concerned about at all?
I think the Chen and the Luna can help maybe even get a little bit of tower goal going your way, which helps speed up the Blink Dagger for the Sand King, so it should be okay.
Okay.
You can also initiate from range decently, like smoked up Chen Rubik has okay range, just telekinesis into Chen stomps from his creeps should be fine. Maybe Sand King can just roam on in there too and take advantage of that nice setup to get those earlier burrow strikes off with it. But they're gonna go for the Tinker, so a lot of space being made by these 4 heroes. Kind of a interesting lineup from Team Spirit. A little bit of early game, a little bit of mid, a little bit of late with the Tinker. LQ though, pretty terrifying. Batrider Slardar dual off lane is very scary. Can rotate up there quite a bit from the Slardar, and with him pressuring in the top lane, that means it's easier for him to roam mid. So they'll have to be maybe a little bit more cautious on diving to the Shadow Fiend. I have to say I'm kind of favoring the Radiant side draft right now.
Yeah, you know, I'm doing the same type of thing. Oh, God, please no. Please no. Please no.
We just need strategy time in Captain's Mode too, so they can do their hotkeys here.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, I'll mention real quickly for anybody that's wondering. Okay, we're going to get the game going. On BTS2 is the Ad Finum versus Bears game. Want to make sure that that is all well known and stuff.
Whoa. Lots of action top. Double TP.
Yeah, they're all going up here. But the other thing that I was going to mention is that it looks like, yeah, that is gonna it's gonna be there for today. The EU qualifiers will all be on BTS2. Tomorrow, that's going to switch back over, so we'll be for the CIS stream at least on BTS2 instead, and then it's going to be EU there. So we're going to get kicked off eventually.
Yeah, we're getting demoted. That was fast. You know, one forfeit series, and they see the viewership drop, and we're out, guys. So, oh, that's life. What can you do?
Well, they head out here, going to place down some wards, make sure that they've got themselves a nice vision advantage, and going to head off to the races. Yeah, I think like LQ definitely coming in the underdogs in this one just because of like the players that you've got on Team Spirit and how well known they are. But I would agree with you. I really feel like LQ have a great draft here, and if I'm Team Spirit, I'd be pretty worried. It feels like a lot of it's going to come down to how well this Chen does.
Yeah, the Chen in the first 5-7 minutes here in this game probably be the biggest deciding factor. Like Bully Brain, he wants to get a little bit of farm before he joins. He can definitely be impactful early on, but you want to get up into, like, you know, you want your ring, maybe go into the Dragonlance first. Not too much pressure to go right into a load or a Lincoln Sphere this game. It's okay, but it's not like desperation mode.
Right.
But so I would imagine like ring Dragonlance, and then maybe he can join to a couple of these fights from there. But they could be pressuring enough early on if there's no Blink Dagger up on top of the Bat Rider. Like, this is generally a very harassing lane up top here, but it's also a little bit greedy in the sense that they both want to get some earlier Blink Daggers. We saw Team Liquid being super successful with this, with GH and Mind Control to an absolutely disgusting degree. So we'll see if LQ can have the same sort of success here, and if not, maybe they'll start running them over here from the side of Team Spirit. They just take too much tower gold. They can't control Iceberg. He gets a little bit too farmed. If his blink comes online early enough that he can deal that damage and just slow down everything from LQ, this whole draft could just melt.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see the dynamic of these couple of lanes and if they're able to force somebody to make a rotation, because it feels like the person that's forced to make the rotation away from their lanes is probably going to be the one that ended up coming out on the backside of the whole trade-off. But yeah, you talked about the power of this lane up here, and it's definitely going to start to come into play once you get a couple levels. And Funnick, definitely a great Bat Rider who can take full advantage. The Tinker versus the Shadow Fiend matchup early on mid here. How are you feeling about that one for both sides?
It looks like it's going to be pretty 1v1, at least for now. No rotations really coming through, so they'll just be doing their own thing. I mean, both these players kind of understand how this is going to work, right? You're going to get lasered to Shadow Fiend. You need to be careful in your positioning as Tinker. One misstep in that double raise, you could just be dead. So,
yeah.
The bottom lane, pretty interesting. The FNG is putting all this pressure down here right away. And not going for any sort of a greedy play. He comes down, he gets a sick D ward there, helping out DK Phobos. And that'll make it more difficult to spot what FNG is actually up to. And that might stop our 1v1 mid. He's already starting to inch his way there with the smoke and steals the bounty ring.
Nice timing right there for Mr. FNG, and has the creep to do it with as well. Scandal is going to be able to pop his salve and head up here picking in his rune. I don't think this translates into anything else. It's worth noting he is kind of a bit of a tough time in lane 6-1 right now versus the 10-4 of Tinker. And Iceberg's just going to head back over and heal up at the shrine. So there's a strong possibility that they're able to find a kill here, particularly if Shadow Fiend sticks around too long mid lane.
Yeah, probably wants to be a little bit greedy here. Scale. He's like, I'm a full HP, but my mana's low, but I want to stick around till he nukes me a couple times, then I'm going to go Shrine, and this could be his undoing.
Oh, here comes the rotation in. They found him. Pens down as well. They got that damage up, looking for the kill, able to find it. FNG drawing first blood. Easy peasy on the Shadow Fiend.
Great rotation there from FNG. And all that coming down just because of this D-ward, right? They don't have the vision there. They don't know where the Chen is. They don't know if he's just lurking around there. And now this brings Witch Doctor mid. Blurrybrain's now alone here on the Weaver. Won't be able to fully harass out DK Phobos.
Yeah. On top lane, everything's still ended up pretty okay for the side of LQ. They're going to take some damage every now and then, but should be able to contest the farm of Luna a decent amount. If they're not careful, get a couple levels up on these heroes here, and it's going to be a pretty quick and easy kill.
Yeah, if there's too many stacks on BZZ, we might just see Funix start fireflying. He'll get lifted by Vanscore, but then Moloch can just move in and he gets one crush off, and that can just negate the time that's going to be disabled from the telekinesis, and then BZZ will just be dead. So, kind of neat to see BZZ on the carry role, by the way. I didn't know that's what he'd be playing this team, but I guess with Iceberg, more comfortable heading the mid lane. BZZ, more notably, been playing mid more lane. In fact, he's going to be turning the other way here, but they use their spells offensively, and they'll just drive Funix back.
A little bit of miscommunication there. The big problem we see is DAC in mid lane yet again. They found Scandal, and, well, Witch Doctor Cask does not come out quite on time, and so they end up being able to find another kill on Scandal mid. A pretty rough laning stage already for the Shadow Fiends.
Yeah, Tinker and SF, they're just two mids that can really capitalize on any rotations that do come in. You hold someone in place, there's plenty of nukes that can fly out from either hero here, and in this game, it's Team Spirit gaining the advantage. FNG, Chen is just such a hero. Sometimes he's so good, and other times he's just seems garbo. But FNG, of course, making it look pretty damn fine right here. 2 ganks already, 2 kills before the 4-minute mark on Scandal.
God, and they got to be careful, too. I mean, Arcane Rune on Tinker as well, so if he did happen to step up a bit further there, he's already brought somewhat low. And this has given so much room down here for DK Phobos. The fact that you've kept the Witch Doctor out, he's 19-0 on CS. He's almost on parity with where the Shadow Fiend is on the opposing team. So concerns that I was having about that Blink Dagger very much alleviated at this point.
Yeah, all that pulling to the mid lane, helping out. Pressure from Chen, making DK Phobos' life very easy. Yeah, he's about 50 gold ahead of the Shadow Fiend, in fact. And I guess Blow Your Brain, at least he's still on top, only by a very slight margin, as the harass continues.
Yeah, well, we'll keep our eyes on this, how the next several minutes unfold.
Radiant's
Sunlight,
middle tower
they have another
is under
Burrow
attack.
Strike in a second if they want to do it. Applying the Caustic, they're diving, they find that kill. One last shot comes out with the Hukin, and they're able to get it. And meanwhile, up here in the top lane, Moloch getting a little bit frisky, is going to end up going down there. Vanscore finds the kill as, well, Team Spirit strike back and continue to make it work.
Yeah, they're just not finding the pressure up here. Surprising. I guess they are playing a little bit back from BZZ. Like, he hasn't been too aggressive, and that's working in their advantage, but very disappointing, I'm sure, for LQ. Certainly wanted a little bit more out of this one, and now Funix just forced to try and work these creeps over here in his off lane.
Yeah, this really hurts. Granted, this is not like all of the laning stage that they were sort of depending upon. It's a very much also a lineup that's going to benefit from early group up once they get those levels online, but you got to be feeling at least a little bit scared at this point, particularly going against the Team Spirit lineup that's going to be able to, you know, team fight pretty effectively with the Sand King coming online.
Yeah, they do have a haster on Scandal. Sadly, it seems unlikely they'll get to use this as an offensive tool. More than likely, they'll just try and make sure he doesn't die again.
DK Phobos running right. They're going to be able to get the kill. Vanscore pulls back in Sunlight, and this might be another one going in. They're going to try the crush, but the dive now coming in. Shadouken, Shockwave connects. Lolk also going to be caught now by the net. Funix shows up, wants to make this work, but Vanscore doing so much damage. The Fade Bolt almost kills off Lolk. Not going to be able to quite be there, but Funix taking too much damage. The Chen creeps are going to die, but so too will Funix. And 7-0 starts. Scandal shows up, just wants to get anything in return, and FNG's just going to TP out in place. Nobody's going to spot him. Vanscore running away. Haster, and they do get that kill with the Raze. But man, this has been a terrible start for LQ.
Yeah, at least they get 2 back there with the
Radiant's top tower is
DK
under
Phobos
attack.
burrowing himself to death, but he's secured to kill the Bat Rider, so I'm sure he's happy with his little trade there. Then again, it does actually put Funix at quite a bit of gold. Sad that Weaver wasn't able to get his ult off. Maybe just pushing it a little bit too far to the limit there. Jeez, that kill from Scandal was worth 405 gold on the Vanscore there. Is that really how much gold? They are down, man. When you're mid
Yeah.
because of support and he gets that much.
Witch Doctor's net worth is 400 right now. Like, it is a rough life to be him. Is going to be able to finally get himself some boots here, I believe, but yeah, I am very concerned for LQ in the next couple of minutes. This is tough. FNG checking the rune. This does reveal that top lane, we're going to have ourselves an Arcane Rune as well. Might just need to be Vanscore who picks it up, as Funnick shows here. And well, 3 heroes rotating. I don't believe that they're going to get anything with this. Vanscore sprinting away as well. Well, there's a raise, a nice bit of damage. They do find that kill. Funnick now thinking about diving. They throw out another shockwave. The boots, well, everything getting thrown, and they take him down.
Yeah, once that cask is already used, it's hard to stop FNG from coming in and making those rotations. You can see down bottom as well, Blurrybrain opting in towards what appears to be treads. So he will be buying the boots, not going for the boots Weaver.
Upon a loyal warrior.
Generally meaning that he's probably going to want to join up the team and actually fight, which is likely needed at the current moment as things aren't going too well. Really want to try and abuse that minus armor. He doesn't want to be down here farming the entire time. So next lasso, already ready to go here. Time to make some action happen, guys.
Yeah, we got to see something come out because it has certainly not been a great start. They're getting.
Oh, this is good though. They got a double stack here.
Yeah.
That was a good play.
Funnick will be able to get that little bit of help. Brought in the Slardar to make sure that he was going to be able to get that online. The other problem though is they do definitely need the Shadow Fiend there to be able to find the kill. Like Witch Doctor level 6 is not quite going to be online, so they can't find a kill with that. I feel like a double raise is needed for them to actually secure a kill on any meaningful target.
And you can see Blurrybrain. He's being haunted here by Vanscore. He's just waiting, man. He hit 6 immediately. He's down here. He's like, give me that Shikuchi. I want to make some rotations. I need my spell. And it looks like he's about to get it here. So he'll be quite pleased with himself. Oh, come on.
What are you doing,
He
Vanscore?
doesn't want to show, I guess.
Tower is under attack.
Unbelievable. I guess that there's a chance they could kill.
Yeah,
Sand King's about to
now.
get Epicenter. And that would be quite good for them if they could manage to do that.
I think. Oh, actually, well, top lane. No rotation coming out from anyone here. They'll just get the tower. FNG getting the gold.
Tower has fallen.
Yeah, they lose nothing for this. Like, they're sort of grouped up mid here, ready to defend or push, sort of, but a very, very sketchy couple of minutes coming out. Yeah, DK Phobos.
Dire's middle tower is
We'll
under
have that
attack.
epicenter online, and it looks like Blow Your Brain does not want to test it. Picks up the treads, backs out. Time to farm elsewhere.
Yeah, and FNG, I think he saw the Batrider around this area and thought that he'd rotated up in, so they tried to make rotations to come and find him, but instead they'll just farm Ancients, and no smokes on their
Dire's
person,
middle
so
tower
they won't be able to
is
make a
under attack.
rotation quite yet. Instead it'll just be a organized push, it seems, but Blow Your Brain has ditched bottom. He is out of there. DK Phobos is all alone. And still Vanscore waits, hoping to get a kill.
And, I mean, they do not
Radiant's
spot out the
bottom
Shadow
tower
Fiend here
is
with the
under
DD
attack.
rune, but it doesn't look like they're going to end up being able to take that fight on the side of LQ. Maybe that the rotation mid if they want to come and try and defend it, but that also seems rather bold. FNG has 3 of these big creeps here and is going to go pick up another, I believe, in just a little bit, or at least allow BZZ to farm a bit more for himself. This whole time,
Yeah.
Iceberg
I like
farms.
this idea.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just using the Chen to help. Using Ancients really early on. Burrow mid, but
Dire's
get from
bottom
Malala.
tower
Just gonna take
has
the Amplify.
fallen.
So after 11 kills in just under 12 minutes, it looks like they're actually ready to move in and take down Roshan. No vision in the world right now for LQ of this, and I don't expect that they would imagine it's coming. Does look like with all the creeps, they're going to be able to take it. Corrosive Haze stolen by Vanscore, which is allowing all of this to happen. Wow, that is, well, stealing that spell's pretty good.
Pretty handy. They just de-warded mid a moment ago too, so they're just like, all right, well, they committed some vision there. Unlikely there's any more. Very close by, so this should be a free take.
What a heads-up play by Team Spirit that is. You know, you steal Corrosive Haze, you just immediately go in, you take the advantage that this is a basically minus armor draft entirely by LQ that wanted to secure Roshan early, and they took it away from him.
Yeah, could have been a nice little recovery for them. And now that gold being popped over to Team Spirit, and Blink Dagger up here soon for DK Phobos. There's nothing they can do against this push. There's no Blink Dagger on this Slardar. I guess Funnick, maybe he could be the one to start something off, but he's up here with Blow Your Brain, hoping that someone's going to TP in to defend this, and maybe they'll get themselves a lasso pick up there.
Seems
Start
unlikely.
using those creeps for Iceberg.
Oh, they found low. Tons of damage comes out. He's just gone. Oh, so quick. They do drop down a ward right in range of a sentry, so that will get taken out eventually, but with the Chen pushing these creeps, and I don't know how they stop this pressure.
I mean, they can't even take this top tower. Like, Blow Your Brain is putting all his effort into this, and it's taking forever. This tower is dead mid.
Oh my god.
Dire's top tower is
13
under
minutes in, and honestly, if Team Spirit wanted to, like they're thinking about going up for high ground. Who's gonna stop them? Like, what do they really have to make this not happen? Scandal is up here.
Has to be a last
pressure. Oh, Funnick wants to, but they're up on high ground now. He's getting his Blink Dagger canceled. There's not a great opening for this.
Oh, he keeps getting hit by these marches.
On Iceberg, they're gonna back out again. It looks like don't want to overstay their welcome. FNG left alone. It looks like that is going to call the end of it. They force everybody back from LQ, and Team Spirit, with just a tremendous lead at this early stage of the game. The only impediment is their movement speed at this point to taking towers.
And this is what this draft can do. I wouldn't consider it necessarily the easiest execution, because really it all, maybe not all of it, but most of it, I would say, comes off the back of FNG and his rotations. He just made it look so easy. 2 kills before 4 minutes. Shadow Fiend is shut down. This pulls the support to the mid lane. This gives all the space to DK Phobos one-on-one against this Weaver, who can't do anything. He took an early point in Sandstorm to negate any sort of chances of Weaver killing him, really.
Dire's middle tower
And
is
even
under
dominating
attack.
these melee creeps out of the lane, like the extra movement speed and HP that they've got,
Radiant's
plus all
bottom
these
tower
auras
is
that you've
under
now gone
attack.
on your team. This, I'm getting a little bit of a
Dire's
lag
middle
spike,
tower
but
is
this
under
is feeling
attack.
incredible. They have so much regen on all of their heroes right now.
Radiant's bottom
15.7
tower
naturally
has
on Luna.
That's actually absurd. Good old Helm. Good stuff.
And then the unholy aura as well, like everything.
Dire's middle
Yeah, man.
tower
We got
is
the
under
bird
attack.
now here too. A little bit of
Radiant's
armor.
bottom tower is under attack.
They are so difficult to kill at this point, and
Dire's
all
middle
LQ can
tower
really
has
do is
fallen.
try and split
Oh,
push
hey!
around the map.
Got an Alpha Wolf here, guys. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
We need to swap out this
Radiant's
Centaur for a
bottom
Hellbear,
tower
I think.
has
I don't think
fallen.
we have enough auras. Like,
Dire's
really, like,
top
what's this
tower
Troll and
is
Centaur
under
really
attack.
offer?
And, well, Funnick is going to try and stop this for at least a little while. Has the Firefly out, but, I mean, they're going to be hitting away at this tower. It's 15 and a half minutes in. How do they stop this?
They've, again, brought, well, only 3 back. Still a slider up here. Dire Vision. They know Scandal's still here, so they're not going to stop yet.
Oh, they have,
He's TPing back now, though.
they have a Burrow Strike as well with Blink, and there's Sand King immediately finding sunlight. He's going to drop to that Lucent Beam. Yeah.
Dire's top
They still have
tower is
Aegis.
under attack.
It's
I mean,
16
they're getting run
minutes.
over. This is just Luna. With a hell of a lot of friends.
Radiant's bottom tower
Oh my
has fallen.
god. 16 minutes in. And the net worth 7,500. It's not as bad as it could be potentially. Like they still have a 2,000 lead in terms of experience, so there's like little things there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they also have a Tinker on the side of Team Spirit, and this is happening to you, so that's generally not good.
Illusion.
Got an Aether Lens almost finished up here for Iceberg. Then we just start getting the Aghanim Scepter. Blow Your Brain is sitting on that Dragon Lance. He's got his ring, and he is moving towards that Lincoln Sphere. But we haven't had a lasso yet. Lolok has his Blink Dagger. This is definitely the biggest moment for them to try and turn this game around. They're going to opt for a smoke. They've got the BKB. This is like the Hail. It's not even that much of a Hail Mary. They're super strong right now. And if they can march themselves into a good fight, you can see a humongous amount of AoE and turnaround gold
Oh
come their
god.
way.
Well, they're going to be walking uphill. The lane is only pushing on bottom, so they might be able to
They've
take
got
this.
the vision, too.
It's right near a shrine, which is pretty terrifying. But if they can find FNG at the start, there's the jump forward. They actually decide to go on to BZZ at the start of this one. A misses on the crutch, and, well, the epicenter turn around. A ton of damage coming out from Scandal. It is going to end up being enough to take down 2 and maybe a 3rd as well as DK Phobos falls. Iceberg still off on the other side. They're getting a lot of control off from these Chen creeps, and Scandal actually is going to just barely stay alive. If he needs one more, there's going to be the missile. They find that kill. So the
That's
turn,
stolen Corrosive Haze.
hell of a fight. And, well, even with Scandal going down there, that's a big win for LQ.
Yep. Massive. 2.5k gold swab over. Oh, but Funnick, now he's in trouble.
Oh, just out of range right there, that last missile. And he doesn't have enough mana to do it now. They might be able to bring down Iceberg, and they will.
Damn.
So, huge
It's,
turnaround.
The corrosive haze had like just come off too.
Oh my god.
Radiant's bottom
Okay,
barracks
so
are under
they
attack.
only got 1 tier 3. Not a big deal. That's the massive turnaround you need. That BKB, mega worth there on your 10-second usage. Perfectly timing there as that
Radiant's
Aegis was
bottom
expiring.
barracks are under
The
attack.
fact, I agree, it was a little bit risky hopping onto the Luna, right? Because if the Hand of God gets off, maybe someone pops the Shrine, she ends up being close enough. That whole fight could have went to shit. But the fact that it didn't, the fact they were able to burst it down so quickly, just made the pick off of everyone else even easier. Imagine if they were able to get that Tinker second too. Like Iceberg did quite a bit of cleanup in that fight, thanks to Vanscore's steal and the Corrosive Haze. But LQ. Excellent battling back there. Now that Lincoln Sphere seems like a reality for Blow Your Brain, so they could have a hard time locking him down, and if he can get into a little bit of damage, he could be the one of those backlines trying to take over this fight, especially if he can manage to tag Iceberg up there with one of those bugs.
Absolutely. That definitely feels like it could be one of the game changers. He's just been so mobile, and, well, there's the BKB, TP, he's out of there. So at least he does have some way to stay alive, but having to use your 10-second BKB after Dragonlance, like, it just goes to show. Actually, no, excuse me, is 8-second now. They are just in, like, emergency, try and save the day mode. I also, the one other thing that we saw in that fight was the Sand King Blink Dagger that came out. It definitely feels like it can be a fight changer, but they do sort of lack a bit of damage, particularly if they don't either get that off or an Eclipse.
Yeah, it's mostly just like auras and control coming from the Chen and stuff too. So it's a good point there, lacking a little bit in the damage. I gotta say, like, what year is the Sunlight, man? The double bracers. I don't actually remember the last time I saw this. Everyone's all about the glimmer capes and stuff they say, but that's what happens, right? You get into one of these games where you're just down and you have to find some sort of a comeback. You don't have a lot of gold. The credit, he was like 400 net worth at one point this game, so when it was a decent time in, so he's happy now to have a little bit going for him. And 1160 HP, not too shabby. Gonna help him tank up a couple of those eclipses for the team.
Yeah, he's got his XP gain talent. He's a good witch doctor right now. It's still a rough game, but you know, it's what you can get away with. I also like, you know, we talk a lot about talent trees and how effective they are for Weaver. This is great. He's going to be able to just build back into a bit more damage by virtue of his talents, and then have the items to keep him alive throughout all of this. As Team Spirit's set up in the top lane, but nobody's shown.
Yeah, I like the way Team Spirit have been playing. The one time they got caught, it wasn't even because they stayed too long or anything. This is a nice play too. Trying to bait it with a smoke play here and just be like, oh, it's just Iceberg TPing him by himself. Don't lasso me. Oh no, I'm just standing in vision.
Yeah.
But it's not going to work this time. At least it doesn't seem so. But they've never stayed too long. They've always done a good job of backing themselves up. It was a very aggressive and nice play from LQ that ended up giving them a little bit back over to the rating side. It wasn't really a mistake on the side of Team Spirit. So we can expect them to probably again do that here. Maybe once they spot 5 heroes, once they get a quick pick, they'll likely just back and start rotating towards that last shrine. And then gear up for the next Roche.
You can see right there as well, they move in. They tried to force out the BKB from Scandal, but well, it didn't end up going for it either side. It's a long Roche respawn timer, and this really does feel like favor LQ. Now a smoke play.
See if I can do it again.
Smart money.
1 minute till Roche, so even if this is successful, it won't be a massive turnaround for them. Oh, Bollock, pop, still up top,
But
wrong guess.
That being said, I don't think that Team Spirit noticed that. Oh yeah, they do have vision right there, so they spot Funnick now and should back out. Although the rest...
Funnick, they're gonna give that to Funnick.
Okay.
Okay.
They are all there. They have some vision. You can see right now that Funnick sees everybody that's here. They drop a sentry ward, and this is going to spot him out. They cut him right on the edge, all pulling him back into vision and bringing him down. Now no more Funnick. They need to be really careful. Team Spirit looking to chase.
Right. That was a brutal mistake. Maybe they couldn't see. Did they not have vision there or something? That must have been it. But either way, Dire Sentry right next to a Radiant Sentry, and Funnick couldn't move in time. And now the pressure comes in. He is buyback. Might be 4 season. That would mean no.
Oh, the immediate lift. They call. Oh, look, no crush comes out. They are going to be able to kill off the Rubik. Nonetheless, Scandal going for the ulti right on top of BCZ. They aren't going to be able to do quite enough damage that Blow Your Brain. Maybe going to be able to run him down. He's chasing into the trees. Epicenter was able to find 1 kill, but Iceberg maybe already doing enough damage here. They turn on to Scandal, bringing him down too. and blow your brain. The sole survivor is even going to be able to kill off FNG. Doesn't look like it. He gets back home as well. Meanwhile, the chase trying to call in DB Phobos. That's going to be enough.
What a send home. I thought for sure BZ was dead. That was pretty sick. Nice saves. FNG making the plays this game. Then he gets out himself. That's costly. Like, you don't want to buy back on Funnick because you really want that BKB this game. You see how it's going to be a necessity, or else, well, what happened to your slider is just going to happen to you, advance score. That's sick lift, as he pointed out. Fabulously played by him. And the secondary turnaround won't be coming here for the Radiant side, but we still have Roche. That'll be our game. Chen makes the right play with buying up that gem as well. They really needed that. So now the goal is just Roche, Shrine, deny all vision to the Radiant side, make it just as difficult as we just saw the last time where they tried to go for that smoke play. I mean, the first turnaround only became because of that high ground on the board. And the fact they had to just go for that blind crush on the secondary attempt really showed how that can punish you. Van Score not going to grab that.
Oh, they got another lift onto Funnick, pulling him back in. Well, the bounces are going to start to come, but DK Phobos misses onto the crush. Still a ton of damage coming out from Iceberg as he chases down Funnick. Is forced back and away. So that really hurts. You get a haste rune on your Bat Rider and not able to find a kill. Honestly, Vanscore has been really on point with these lists. I think that the first one might have been precast when Slardar walked to the low ground, but that one was really close from Bat Rider being able to catch him.
Yep, then again, just another send home by FNG. Like, all right, you're going to go on my Rubik. He's out of here, and we're going to kill your Slardar. Easy trade for us. Roche again. Stolen Corrosive.
So is that basically what they're doing every time, is just like sending back whoever gets gone on by the Bat Rider? Like,
yeah, whoever gets gone on by anyone.
God, kind of a tough one to deal with. But
yeah, it's rare to see the send home work so well without like a Shadow Demon or a OD. That's commonly how you see the massive saves come out, because they just get sent home and then disrupted, or sent home and astraled. But this game, FNG managing to save people before they go down through a combination of mechs, the ridiculous regen that they all have when they're standing next to each other, and then just the hand of God.
yeah, it's quite hard for LQ to get these kills at this point. And normally you would say, all right, well, this is sort of an okay situation because we've got an experienced lead, or at least a bit of an edge, but Team Spirit have just been so effective that they've built up this giant gold lead, and while the experience is kind of even, it sort of doesn't matter a ton. Like, LQ can take the fights, but they're just so hard to bring down in their 5-man.
Yeah, you can see Lalik and Funnick hoping to break a little bit of that, assuming that Iceberg will TP to push this, and they're probably going to be right. Oh, they just need to wait a moment longer. But they've been off the map for so long, Iceberg could be thinking about this. And yeah, he's just going to go mid where it's safer.
Yeah. Playing it safe, not wanting to get caught out there, and it would have been a quick and easy pickoff had they just been able to jump onto him. So nobody's showing down there. He still could go for it. He's just going to head mid, stay around here.
I really like the build from Scandal this game too. Had to go for the BKB, definitely forced into it after Dragonlance, and then, oh yeah, this could be good for them, but...
They spot Iceberg with the invis. Oh, not quite there.
That's painful.
Oh, and now they pull back in Funnick. No, he's going to end up going down. A ton of damage comes out, and, well, the Tinker Laser's still doing strong stuff. They have the Weaver onto Iceberg, not able to bring him down. The bugs are there, but there is no follow-up, and, oh, God. That was really unfortunate for the side of LQ.
Now a fake back here. They're baiting out the Luna. Everyone else right next by with that smoke, hoping that they're going to Blink Crush or Blink Lasso onto an Aegis and then try and fight her in the base again. But Chen creeps now are revealed.
Funnick buys back. They're preparing to wrap around and try and go into this fight. There's the jump forward. They pull back in. Luna immediately going to get controlled. Look at the damage from Iceberg. Oh, the laser is quite strong. He's going to come in for a second round. If they're not careful, blow your brain. Still on vision. The Aghanim's doing a ton of work, and honestly, it just kills off Sunlight passively. Barracks are going down, and while they have the crush, I mean, what are they really hoping to do here? Double kill for Iceberg.
I really like that play. They just keep going.
No rest for the Wicked. Oh, jeez.
It's like we know that we're all out here, but we have a Luna with an Aegis, and we are going to make you lasso her. We're not going to give you a choice. And so they just all stand around her smoked up. Like, you can't be sure exactly where they're all standing. The only way they could have gone for that is to commit the Slardar. He would have had to blink into 5 heroes knowingly, crush, therefore revealing everyone, and then trying to give a lasso target. Like, what, you're going to hope that you just crush the Chen and you can lasso him instead or something? And then there's this, like, Aegis Luna running at you. Your Slardar doesn't have a Force Staff, so he would just be committing himself to death. There was just really no option for helping in that scenario.
Oh, they're crushing, but Tinker comes out strong. Dagon, Laser, every damn thing right in their face, and Iceberg just going to jump back out. Vanscore stole the ulti just for posterity's sake as, well, they jump forward and find another kill. Double kill for Iceberg, make it a triple. Vanscore is actually the one that picked it up in the end. Good game gets called as Team Spirit just walk all over LQ's dreams.
Yeah, two biggest things this game, definitely the fact that dual off lane of the Batrider and the Slardar did not get anything done. Essentially useless. They got farmed at a moment where it wasn't really relative anymore. They couldn't apply enough pressure. Maybe it's just because like the early level 1 or level 2 they weren't able to apply enough. And once that happened, the fact Chen just rotates mid is the other big thing. FNG played a very, very nice game. A lot of saves coming out. You have to watching for some of that Team Spirit Chen play for sure. Just that combination, just the fact that it killed the SF so many times, and then that opens up for DK Phobos. Life was just so easy for Team Spirit, thanks to FNG, as well as the solid duo safe lane of Vanscore and BCZ. So, only game 1 though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how it ends up shaping out in game number 2. We talked about auras abound. I mean, even like no field, everything just working together for Team Spirit. And LQ back to the drawing board. I like their draft a lot, but it turns out that Chen is pretty good when he can pick up all those items, and you get just a ton of auras. So stay tuned, everybody. More great action is soon to follow. It's LQ versus Team Spirits, the CIS qualifiers here. BTS DAC 2017. We'll be back in a bit. See you guys then.